Hello everyone, hello again, and welcome to this another one of my vlog. This is your girl Bright Ideas. Anyway, I'm never the one to come on here and talk about politics. That's just not my field. Whatever I vlog about or show on my little channel is always things that I make and show my creativity at whatever I do. But I see a video going around about Buju Banton losing some stuff at the airport in Kingston. However, what a lot of people fail to understand that it's the cargo department, not the regular part that we would fly in and it would come on the same plane as we do. This is the cargo section of the airport, which is in a separate building from where we depart or arrived. Yes, you have the cargo section that is separate, that is only cargo planes come into. This part of the airport, it actually has the cargo plane like the UPS and the you name it, those companies where big planes come in that does not carry passengers. That is where those shipments come in, yes. And you can send a barrel with them. You can send anything with them. However, they're not like the regular wharf because you send it off today. We call it air freighting. So if you send off the freight by air, that is where it go into Montego Bay. If you into Kingston, sorry, and if you're sending it to Montego Bay, then it goes into Donald Sangster at that freight port also. It is not at the wharves. It is not on the seafront on the wharf. It's at the airport. These cargo come in by plane, not by cargo ships. However, a couple of years ago, I was traveling back to Jamaica, a friend and myself, and we carried like 3 pieces each. So we had 6 pieces of luggage. So we had to send 2 pieces through air freight because the flight was overload, and they couldn't carry all that we have. We were told that's the only way it's gonna come, and then we will have to come back to the airport the following day to pick it up over at the freight department. Not in the airport where we came in. They sent it by the cargo plane, so we had to go back to the airport the next day to collect it. However, when we were going down for a wedding, I think it was a wedding, and he bought a shoes for his brother, a shoes for himself, which were the same kinds, same make, same model, whatever you want to call it, look just the same. It's just that one was a size 8 and the other was a size 10. By this time, I didn't know that he had had previous experience with the airport with this cargo shipment where he sent things and when him reach, they're not there. But we didn't know that the bags, at the time they weren't suitcases, they were duffel bags. So we didn't know at the time that all of that was going on. So we packed to go and pick up at the carousel when we reach. But as I said, they send the shipment on to the cargo part and we had to pick it up the next day. So when we were packing, he said to me, never put a pair of shoes together because when they go to steal, they're gonna take you a whole pair of shoes. So I said, what do you mean? He said, no, put one foot in one of your luggage, whether your hand luggage or another suitcase if you're traveling with 2 suitcases and a hand luggage. He said, but never put the full pair into one luggage. So I said, okay. So I, did what he did. He put the left foot the two left foot of each size, 1/8 and 1/10 in one luggage, and put the two right foot of the 8 and the 10 in the other luggage. So now you have two shoes in a luggage that look alike, but they're different sizes. So okay, we went down and they said, oh, you got to come back because we couldn't carry it. As we told you, it's a tomorrow thing. You have to pick it up and all sorts of stuff. So we went back to the airport the next day. After many waiting and asking and a long drawn out thing, whole day wasting our time there, we finally got the bag. It was just one piece. I got my piece. My piece actually did my 2 pieces and my extra did come. So I got my 3 pieces. He got his 2. When we went for the bag, when they brought the bag out to us, it was noticeably that the bag was open. That they ripped the zipper, they tore the zipper out of the bag to get in there because we had a lock on it. So they ripped the zipper and they went in and they took perfumes, they took towels, they took clothing. Almost half of it was gone. And there was nobody to talk to. They couldn't say it was done there. It could have been done in New York. Anyway, after back and forth with them, we decided that we're going to get a lawyer and we're not going to take the bag and whatever. They said they're going to investigate it. Until this day, we haven't heard anything. But the joke that is on it all, the thief took the 2 left foot of shoes, 1/8, 1/10. So we were laughing. We just took it as a joke. We say, you know what? At least nobody can wear it unless they're going to sell it to a 1-foot man who wears either a size 10 or a size 8, but him have just that foot cut off. But the person who steal it will have to find two men that their left foot is cut off. If you understand what I'm trying to explain, because it's 2 left foot shoes. So unless you only have a your right foot is gone, you can't wear it. So we make it as a joke. And yes, that's what they did to us. That was my experience. Now, the other experience I'm going to tell you about is my father coming back to Jamaica for the first time for my grandmother's funeral after many years away. He was coming back home to his grandmother's funeral. And he said while he was in the airport, went to the carousel to pick up his bags and stuff. He saw his suitcase. This guy was dragging it to one corner. So he's trying to leave where my cousins were, because a group of them traveled for the funeral. So he was trying to, leave from where they were to go over to, see if it's his suitcase, because a lot of suitcases came on a flight that look alike. You just have to have some kind of ID on it to show a piece of string, a piece of ribbon, anything where you can identify your suitcase easily, because there's gonna be more than one of your kind of suitcase on the plane. Anyway, he said he noticed that the young man was taking something from his pocket that looked like a knife. He realized it was a box cutter. So he walked over and he's saying to him, excuse me, sir, is that your suitcase? And the guy looked up at him and said, yes, it's mine, and just pushed the box cutter right between the zipper with the fabric part of the zipper and ripped the zipper out. When my father saw he did that, he said, because now the suitcase is open. My father said, hold on. Didn't you just tell me it's your suitcase? He said, yes, sir, it's my suitcase. At this point, this man was taking up, like hugging the suitcase to close it back to take the things. All my father could do was kick him one kick and he fell right on his back in the airport. Everything scattered out. right in the airport, Norman Manley Airport. And that was how my father, that was his experience with them at the airport. And on that same flight, he had a camera. You know, you're coming back to Jamaica for the first time. Man buy big camera for over $3,000. Big camera, because he's like that. He always buy nice things. $3,000 Canon camera with the big what you call it, light on top, and like professional camera. And they stole it. When they got home and he opened up the suitcase, one of the luggage that he was traveling with, the camera was inside there. When he went home and opened up that specific suitcase that the camera was in, the camera was gone. So it's not now them stealing things out there. It's not yesterday. That I just saw a man put it up on I think it was on YouTube, where somebody took something from a friend of his, and he trailed the person to his house, watch him, got up early the next morning, went to the customs officer home and watch him until he left, went back to the custom officer's home and told the helper that the custom officer said to give him that specific, I think it was a bottle of wine or champagne or something. So they do take your things. Don't believe that when they take your things, they're going to throw it in no garbage and put it in a garbage can, yes, to make it look like it's going to be dumped. But they're not dumping it. They're not dumping it. They're not dumping it. I have seen people with things that people got off. I think my friend was telling me that she went into the wharfs a couple of years ago, and when she looked, they had people's stuff sprawled out, selling. Don't know if it's things that was stolen from people's luggage, or it was something that no one had collected, so they had to auction them off. Don't know what it is. But if you never had that experience, pray you don't have it. I cannot vouch for every wharf in Jamaica, which we're talking about the seaport now, because I ship with a specific company and I do my shipment like maybe 3 times a year. I'm sending stuff home. And I kind of make it hard for anybody to go into it, because I build crates out of plywood to ship my stuff. And if I'm going to send, I may send, for it not to be too overweight, I may send food stuff in a 1 or 2 barrels. But 9 times out of 10, it's a crate with food stuff and everything else for the home or whatever I'm sending back home. And to tell you the truth, I have not had any experience of anybody stealing anything. Don't know if it's because the company I ship with does not, you cannot collect your things at the big wharf. They actually clear it from the wharf, take it to their warehouse, and then you go to their warehouse and go through the procedure of clearing your stuff. But I can vie for these people. I have never, ever missed anything from what I have shipped with them, because you cannot even go into that place. There's camera everywhere. So any worker, even if you go there and there's a person who help you and you want to give them something, they can't just take it and walk out with it. You have to carry it out and give it to them outside. You give them something, they can't just take it and walk out with it and walk through with it and say, oh, Miss So-and-so give it. No, they're not allowed to take anything out. They have to carry it out. You have to carry it out on your things out in the yard where your vehicle is going to pick up your shipment. So it's very hard for anybody in that airport, in that port, to steal anything at that warehouse. It's impossible. It's very hard, because there are cameras everywhere watching you when you open up your barrels, when you open up whatever you ship. So to say a person is lying, it's been going on for years in Jamaica, and this might be the eye opener for people to stop stealing things from other people. Maybe it took Buju for the authorities' eyes to be open, because we have to work hard for whatever we have to send back home for our loved ones. And it's very hard to know. Sometimes it's something you are depending on. You know it's there and you need it for a purpose. That's why you send it. And when the things come, it's gone. How do you think we feel? If you have never experienced that experience, pray God you don't experience it. Because when a thief is stealing, not care who's he's taking, him just taking. So and one of the reasons why with that experience, and one of the reasons I would never send anything air freight. If you're sending air freight and you have to go to the airport to pick it up, they charge you by the pound, which is way, way more expensive. So if you send a barrel with food, God help you. To clear that barrel, you may have to pay more than what you use to pack it to clear it. So it doesn't make sense. That's why most people send their stuff through the seaport, to the seaport, through the wharves, and not through air freight via air cargo. A lot of people don't do that because it's just too much. And that is where Buju is complaining that his things went missing. I can't say they went missing. I wasn't there. I never packed anything. Help him to pack his stuff. I don't know what he shipped. But just listening, I am just telling people of my experience of what I have encountered with them at the air freights. And that's my reason that why I would never ship anything to them. I rather wait 4 or 5 weeks, if that's how long it's gonna take for me to clear anything, than ship it where I'm gonna through air freight where I'm gonna get it within 2 days, and then when I go there half of my things is missing. No, I wouldn't take that chance ever. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.